Dice. Rolls. Dragons. Trolls.
Adventurous.
Okay, are you ready to begin?
Yes. Also, welcome to Adventurous.
I was about to do that. Welcome to... I don't want to do it anymore.
Is that a podcast name?
All right, we're back again for another episode here, continuing off the story of Kia, Flibbit, and Brandor the Vibetaker.
I keep wanting to call him the Vibe Stealer, but Dad says they're completely different.
It's all fine. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you had a good week. We're back in the booth, ready to spit some truth.
I don't know if we're spitting truth since we are recording a fictional story.
Suppose that's pretty fair.
But I do pull out weird facts like Victorian high tank toilets.
This is true.
Back from episode 1, and so, maybe we are spitting truth.
All right. Well, let's kick up where we left off. Pick up. Did I say kick up?
Yeah.
Let's kick up. Kick up that story. No, we're kicking up that story, and then we're going to spike it back down into the ground like a volleyball. I don't know how volleyball works.
Or a football?
Last time on Dadventurous, Kia made her way away from Wander Wharf with the plans that Harwick and his town would come join the fight at Scarlet Hill. They would bring the fury of 200 angry coastal citizens to a giant city.
Hey. 200 angry people who know how to probably know how to fish might be bad for Scarlet Hill.
But you guys were going to get there first, and you decided to set out once again on Beryl's airship. While you were up in the air, you and Maud and Beryl reconnected, and you learned a little bit about their old rummager group, the Corsairs.
The Corsairs.
Yep. And
Keep
you
thinking of Three Musketeers whenever you say that.
And you learned that before they were just a rummager, a mayor, and an alchemist, they ran together and had a tendency to take certain past world items from certain people.
Only people who deserved it.
Only people who deserved it, including the Bloodhounds, and it seems that Czar figured that out. So he didn't like them, and he certainly didn't like you. You keep becoming more and more of his rival.
I don't know if he even knows my name.
Oh boy.
He doesn't even know his name.
I don't know if he knows your name either. That makes it even a little bit better. A little bit more infuriating.
Maybe I'll never tell him my name.
Maybe he will never know.
He knows what I look like. He knows what my voice sounds like. But he doesn't know my name.
He's like, who is that cat person? I like to imagine.
Cat lady!
I like to imagine he's somewhere right now in the forest, hops off of the construct that he was riding, piggyback style, goes down to the ground and draws like an image of you in the dirt. And he just puts a question mark next to it. And he goes, and smashes it with his hammer. That's what I like to imagine. Cut to scene in the distance.
We do a lot of cut to Czar scenes.
It's because he's fascinating. All right, so you were sailing along through the sky, and unfortunately, once again, a cloud formed above the forest, only it wasn't normal. It seemed to be caused by a cloud dragon.
It wasn't normal cloud forming. It was magical cloud forming.
That's right. And lightning bolts started shooting from this dragon and causing you guys to descend, and then finally...
We crashed!
You crashed in the woods. In the storm woods.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Storm woods.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
And then, Maud and Beryl were trying to repair the ship. Me and Flibbit went off to follow a strange, sparkly portal thingy trail of green things that Flibbit was detecting. And so we followed it.
And
Whereupon
you stumbled upon a swimming pool in the middle of the forest.
Well, I didn't stumble upon it. I got captured.
That's true. Because you got
Bye.
knocked out as a creature emerged from the bushes and blasted you with a sleep ray.
He's done that like twice now.
Yeah. Brandor the Vibetaker
Taker.
appeared and put you under his spell, trapped you, and locked you in a cage with a very, very non-annoying flump named Fleeve. Who talked like this
And sounded like a
sounded
myconid.
like a myconid and sounded like she didn't know what was going on and was sad. So, you
With those inflections
managed
specifically.
to Flibbit showed up and he managed to break you guys free with your help of a hill giant granola bar.
The granola bar of hill giant strength. I wonder what it nutrient-wise has in that. Like,
Well, according to D&D, giant fingernails, or toenails, I mean.
ew.
So there's at least some of those in there.
In a granola bar?
Well, yeah, you got to hide the flavor of the toenail.
Ew. Ugh. How does somebody ever drink that when they put it in potion form?
I
There's
don't
just
know.
like a toenail clipping.
Put a
Doesn't that like
clothespin
scratch your
on
throat?
your nose and
Yeah.
swallow quickly. All right, you broke out and a fight ensued with Brandor the Vibetaker, and he was oddly descriptive and
He was like,
apologetic.
I will now paralyze you. I am sorry for killing you. He described his attacks that he
He
was
did
going to
describe all
do.
of his attacks, and finally
And
you
somehow they still hit.
you were starting to defeat him, and at the same time, Maud and Flibbit appeared and helped you join the fight.
I got to see Maud in action.
Maud did some cool Rummager stuff. Flibbit, oh yeah, you got knocked to sleep again, and then Flibbit woke you up with a little stench spray.
Yeah,
That was great.
the smelling salts.
The smelling salts.
My
and
idea.
Then, yeah, that was your idea. And then you guys were able to defeat Brandor, who fell prone, and announced that he was falling prone.
Yeah. I shall now fall prone.
And you guys released all of the flumps out of prison, and including Callie from Map's Edge that you found. You guys reconnected a little bit, and that is where we are now. Brandor slumped on the ground, all of his eye stalks spread out around him like he's depressed. All of the flumps coming over and talking with Fleeve, and then Maud kind of standing over Brandor, keeping an eye on him. You and Callie chatting, and Flibbit next to you going, that was one heck of a fight.
Was indeed. I pat him between the eye stalks.
Thank you.
Good work.
I had to go get Maud immediately. We left Beryl there, so hopefully she'll be all right.
You left Beryl?
At the ship, yeah. She was
Okay.
repairing it.
Okay. Well, the ship didn't seem to have anything nearby it, possibly.
We don't know. But,
We don't know.
no, we
indeed.
don't. Are you mocking me?
No.
And Maud,
Maybe
Maud
subconsciously.
nudges you, and she's like, all right, what do you want to do with the big ball here? And she points at Brandor.
I do think I want to talk to him a little bit, maybe about changing his moral compass a little bit.
All right.
Good intentions, bad way of doing it.
All right.
Isn't that right, Brandor?
Yes, that is correct. I, Brandor, have perhaps thought about things incorrectly.
I have a question for you, Brandor.
I will no doubt have at least one answer.
I mean, that makes sense. Okay, what is all the objecties in a ring down in the center of the pool doing? Are you trying to make a portal?
Yes.
To where?
Well, myself and my fellow-eyed creature friends are not of this world.
I've gathered that, but where?
I believe we are from a different plane of existence.
Oh,
One where we exist.
I see. That's what Zara's talking about.
Though in this world we seem to not exist, except of course after having been teleported here, which of course makes us now exist in this world.
Yes, that makes sense.
I admit that I did not know how to construct a portal, but I was using the vibes of the others to enhance my magical abilities.
Why did you want to steal all the vibes when you could have just asked nicely?
He just looks at you and blinks, like unsure of...
All of his 10 eyes
Yeah,
blink at the
blink.
same time.
I do not understand the question.
Well...
And Flippet goes, oh boy.
Have you ever tried to, like... I guess, did you ever ask the Flumps for their vibes?
I am a beholder. Beholders do not ask. Though I admit, perhaps there is a flaw in this system.
Yes. You should see that by now. What are you going to do now?
And he looks towards all the Flumps around him, and Fleeve goes, yes, Brandor, what are you going to do now? Because you are now our prisoner, I think. I don't know. And Brandor goes, yes, I am your prisoner. First order of business, I suppose, would be to return the vibes.
Yes, that's a very good idea. And then I lean over to Flibbit and kind of do the one hand over it and say, "You can do that."
And Flibbit looks at you and he goes, well, I've not met many beholders, but I did meet one when I was a youth, and he did in fact take motions and things. I don't know about vibes. That might be Brandor's thing, but I don't know. I assume he'd be able to put it back in.
Probably.
And he goes, everyone please stand in a line in front of me. Specifically in about a 15-foot cone, about 60-foot range.
I say, wait. Isn't that the range of your eye attacks?
It is exactly the range of my eye attacks, yes.
Then why?
Because it is also the range of my vibrae.
I see.
It can work both
Okay.
ways. Like a hose.
Never mind.
And and so all the Flumps start getting in a line because they're very organized. Fleeve is like, yes, please, everyone stand in a line so we may have our vibes returned. Thank you, Brandor. And he goes, yeah, do not thank me yet, for I am the one who stole them from you. And it's just a very monotonous conversation happening. And Maud's like, are we doing this? Is this...
I don't know.
I guess it's fine. And he's
Sure.
like, perhaps if you are unsure of my intentions, I could be watched over by you three while I return the vibes.
Yes. I stand behind him and I don't pull my bow out, but I keep a hand on it.
Okay. And all the Flumps get into an area, and there's probably like 20 of them. And they all get into a nice little cone, and he goes, prepare yourselves to have your vibes returned. And then he blasts them in the exact same way with an eye ray. And suddenly all of the Flumps get a lot more animated.
Oh, yay.
And Fleeve comes over and she goes, whoa, I have my vibes again.
I was wondering whether you were actually that monotonous.
No, only when my vibes are taken. Oh, thank you. And she holds out a tentacle and starts shaking your hand.
I shake it.
She gives Flibbit like a big flumpy hug. Thank you, Savior. And oh, what do we do now?
Maud?
Yeah?
What are the... Do you think the Flumps could live here?
I suppose. I mean, they could. And Brandor speaks up and he says, the reason I have taken over this aquatic reservoir is because upon previous storms that seem to surge with magic in this realm, more of the aberrations have appeared. And he points at all of them. And so I was capturing them in hopes to figure out how to return.
I see. So, have you and the Flumps here ever been affected by the storms in any changing manner?
Not particularly, though we have experienced the storms and their strange effects.
Well, as long as they weren't permanent or anything, you should be fine. And can all of you breathe underwater? I point to the general conglomeration of Flumps.
I don't know. Can flumps breathe underwater?
I mean, Brandor seems to be able to. Since he was like...
Yeah, I don't think they need... Yes, they have been found underwater in the Underdark.
Okay.
So they have air circulated through the body by entering a central upper cavity and exiting through small holes under the upper body, and there can be gills, etc.
That's a surprising amount of information for
So
what
in
I
my
thought.
world, yeah, they can live underwater, but they could also live above water, obviously.
Yeah.
And Fleeve goes, "Oh, yes, we could. I suppose we could stay here and see if more of our kind arrive."
I was thinking, whenever a magic storm came by, if there's room, maybe most of you or all of you could hide in the pool. And that might protect you, it being a past world.
Yes, and we could keep
Structure.
an eye out for more of us. And she points around at all the flumps.
Yeah.
Okay, well. And Brandor says, "I feel guilty towards what has happened. I admit that my portal knowledge was small, but I thought it would be greater than a flump. I see now that together we may forge a different path."
That's the spirit, Brandor.
I thank you. And then he kind of floats back up, and everybody kind of like gets hushed a little bit, and then he's like, "I am just now floating. I feel better." And
I think he is just like slowly nodding and maybe backing away a little bit and is like, well, this is you guys work together. Work on building those good vibes yourself, Brandor.
interesting tactic. Flibbit kind of leans into you, and he's like, wait. Are we're going to leave them all here? They're going to live in a town? Should I talk to them? What's going on?
I don't know if you want to.
Oh, boy. I'm going to go talk to them for a little bit while you catch up.
It's a chance to meet other people.
I haven't met another flub in a while, and it's been a while since my homeworld, so I'm going to go catch up.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to you.
I'll catch up with my other folks, too.
And he leads over, and you notice that, like, as he goes over, a bunch of the flumps are like, "Oh, who are you?" And they're all, like, shaking his hands and hugging him in a weird, like, tentacle wrap. And he seems to be, you periodically hear, like, them whispering, like, "Limit was our savior," stuff like that. So he is getting some celebrity status over here.
Nice. Flibbit deserves it.
Yeah, so Maud pulls you off to the side, and she said, "That is got to be the weirdest fight interaction."
He was so descriptive. Like,
It was. I don't know what happened.
why in the world would you want your enemy to know what you're doing?
Well, look, if I don't know what else we got to do here, but you got your friend from Map's Edge?
Yeah.
And Callie goes, "Oh, Kia, thank you again for saving me." And she's still wearing the t-shirt that you got her.
I say, how long have you been here?
Oh, I don't know, a couple days, maybe almost a week.
Really?
Yeah, we were in town in Map's Edge, and suddenly portals started popping up around town, and a bunch of us got sucked in. I tried to run out of my shop, but there was one right outside the door, and I got trapped.
And it took you here?
Yeah, it took me here, and I met that thing. It put me to sleep and put me in a cage, and I've been there ever since.
The Brandor?
Yeah, Brandor.
Okay.
Oh, bother.
Did you see anybody else come here?
No, I was the only one, I think.
Okay. Well, I recently found some general and some other people from Map's Edge that got teleported to Athon. And I sent them back to Map's Edge, and they arrived safely.
Oh, wonderful. Should I return to Map's Edge?
Most likely, but I'd be worried about you going it alone.
Well, I suppose. I don't know. Is there any towns nearby or anything?
I mean, there's Wander Wharf, a couple ways down, if you just follow the road, but the road's apparently heavily infested with scrapers. But
that was, you haven't, that was to the north still.
Oh, I thought it was the whole road.
No, there was that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Area heavily infested with scrapers for that surged artifact.
I'd recommend you don't go up north.
Okay.
But yeah, you can head back to Map's Edge. There's Wonder Wharf down a little ways down the road, and then that road leads down to Athon, and then that road leads down to Map's Edge.
Okay, well, I have a friend in Bramble Beach. I could always go that way, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what's their name?
My friend's name?
Yeah. I think neither of us remember her name. If I remember
I just
who
gotta
it
let
is.
my notes stand by. It's been so long.
What was her name?
We'll find out. Let me just... I wasn't prepared to do this. Stand
Forget
by.
her name.
Notes loading.
I have a very strong suspect of who it is, but...
Her name's Tava. That's what I
knew
get
it.
for when
I knew it would be
randomly
Tava.
come up with names. Yeah, okay, well, I can have that way.
I've met Tava before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
She's so wonderful.
Yeah. Bramble Beach recently had another Bramble Scramble.
Did it?
Yeah.
Were you involved? Figured you would be. Oh, well, is there anything I need to bring back to Map's Edge or talk to anyone? Do you need me to say hi to anybody?
Say hi to Theodora for me.
Okay. And well, I guess I'll get out of here soon.
Yeah. You can stay for a little while too, whenever you need. Just remember that you can go back to Map's Edge. I don't think I have anything for you though.
Okay. Well, I will go now. Maybe I'll rest with the Flumps for a little while.
Yeah.
And Fleeve comes over and she's like, "Yes, please." And you kind of notice they're pretty similar voices. "Yes, please. Come stay with us. We will let you be rested and send you on your way. Perhaps we can even send one of ours with you as company."
What does Callie say to this?
Callie would be very excited by this prospect. She'd be like, "Ooh,
Oh yes, Flumps are great travel companions, Callie.
good. Okay. Well, wonderful." Well, and she jumps up and gives you another hug again. Hi, thank you, Kia, for saving me. Well, what's your next step? What's your next plan?
Up to Scarlet Hill.
Ooh, where the bloodhounds are, huh?
Yeah, and stop along the way.
Okay, well, thank you again. I hope you have a great journey, and I hope never to ever be in combat again.
That's a reasonable want. But yes, I'll see you in Map's Edge next time I come by.
Alrighty. And she wanders off.
Wait, do you know which direction?
Yeah, I'm the one that gave you that map, remember?
Well, yeah, but like we're kind of in the middle of the woods.
Well, I have a general idea. I know I need to head to the coast,
Okay.
which is west, and head to the south after that. I should be able to find a road.
Yes.
And if I have a companion, maybe that will be fine.
Yes. Good luck to you, Callie.
Yep.
And if you see a flying ship at any point during your journey, don't worry, it's me.
Ooh. You're on a ship that flies?
Well, me and my company.
That is awesome. She gives you another hug, and then she goes and talks to the Flubs.
They have very similar voices.
They do.
Didn't Callie used to have like a southern accent?
No, that's Theodora.
Oh, no.
Callie always had a high-pitched kind of wavering.
How do you remember this?
I have notes for some, voice things. But then sometimes I go back through and listen because I'm like, I wrote deep, scratchy, but that doesn't mean anything really. So then I have to go back and listen to it because I'm like, what the heck does that mean?
Yes.
For Brandor's the Vibetaker's voice notes, I wrote deep, monotone, and all caps lock.
Oh, caps
That's
lock?
what my note says because I figure that way I know to speak like this.
Oh, yeah, all caps lock, yeah.
So
There's a certain way for all caps lock voices versus
right.
all non-caps lock voices.
that's right. Maud says, "Hey, good work out there. You were making quick work of that guy."
Thanks, I've learned a bit.
Yeah, no kidding. And about that time, Flibbit comes over and he's like, "Okay, we gotta get out of here.
What?
They all want to hug me. It's just so many hugs. I don't know if I can take anymore."
This is probably what it feels like to be a celebrity. You're like famous to them now.
And he turns around and looks, and they're all like looking at him and waving at him. And he's like, "They asked me to name their town."
Well, what'd you decide?
I said, "Flibbit Town." I panicked. I don't know. We gotta get out of here. There's a town named after me now, Kia.
Well, lots of towns are named after people. Sure. Flibbit. Yeah. Ooh, or how about this? Vibe Town.
Ooh, I like that. Let me go. I'll be right back. And he gets about 10 feet away from everybody, and he goes, okay, everyone, listen up. Myself, Flibbit, and my partner, Kia, have come up with a better name for the town. And he goes, Vibe Town. And everyone cheers, and Brandor goes, I like the double meaning of this town, because I also will live in this town, perhaps either as a prisoner or as a civilian.
Yeah, we probably need to go away now. I say to Flibbit.
And Brandor comes up to you one more time, and he says, thank you again for not striking a mortal blow.
My pleasure? I kind of like hold out my hand, kind of like...
Yep. And he closes one of his eye stalks, but then reaches his out towards you. And you can shake his eye stalk if you want. And he says, humanoid customs are very strange.
Well, how else do you like exchange meaning of goodwill and hello?
Like this. And he opens his eye really wide and hits you with a vibre of positivity.
I think it just like startles and then is like, thank you.
Before you go, I must speak to you of something. The storms here, your partner, Flump, tells me that they appear and cause magical chaos.
That is a fact.
I should warn you that here in the woods, the storms have become very common, and there are creatures that seem to come from them as well.
By perhaps any beetle-looking creatures with purple shells and glowy,
Exactly.
jittery bits.
I was able to defeat some of them that appeared, but I should tell you something.
What?
They do not come from my world.
They don't?
No, they appear to come from this plane of existence.
But they're created. Well, I guess if they're created, then it would technically come from this plane of existence, or whatever. I'm not really good in multiverse stuff.
The only thing I can tell you is this. One of them came through, and I was able to see the portal, and I tried to pass through it, but it did not work. And I could sense a direction, and the
Which
direction seemed to be far to the east.
Me?
Anyway...
Wait. Have you ever been to the east?
No, I have only been to this pool.
Okay. I whip out my map.
Do you need to look at a map?
No, I have an idea. I check the farthest east point on the map. I think this is what it is.
Okay, what are you thinking?
Is it marked on the map?
Kind of.
The island that I'm thinking
There
of.
is an island out that way, and you have heard of it. We talked about it all the way back in Briarport,
Yeah.
where there was
Yes. I
there
think
was
I
a
could
distant
see it.
tower. Yeah, there was a distant tower and fog around it. And from what you heard, people weren't able to sail to the island.
Because it was foggy?
You don't know? That's all you know?
Oh, sinister.
Anyway, thank you again for your non-killing blow.
Yes. Thank you for not being as evil as I thought you would be.
You're welcome. Now to Vibe Town. And then turns around and goes about 4 feet and stops.
The sunset walk away of most like movies, but it's only 4 feet, and then they stop.
And then they stop, and they all start shaking their weird floating bodies in exuberance, and wiggling their tentacles up in the air like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men.
I feel like you're enjoying this way too much.
I very much enjoyed Brandor. All right, you go back over to Maud and Flibbit. And Flibbit's like, yeah, all right, we did it. We saved them. I might come back one day, but I need a moment. We need to keep going.
Yes.
Plus, like I said, we left Beryl. So.
Yeah, we need to get back to Beryl.
Maud's like, all right, let's go.
I pull out my map and hold it out to her as we walk away.
Okay.
Into the woods and say, according to Brandor, those surge scarabs, the purple thingies.
Right.
You've seen them.
Yeah. They've come through the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that chased you in the field, all those. Yeah.
Apparently the portal sensation that Brandor got, since he, like me and Flibbit, can sense those, it seems, it came from the east.
Okay.
Far east. Question. What is on this map that is to the far east?
Well, and I know of this, the tower, far-flung tower on the...
Indeed. I've been to Briarport.
As have I.
And according to the locals there, nobody can sail to it.
That's the story.
And I'm wondering whether or not this surge scarabs are actually created there, and when the wild magic storms come calling, they get teleported to wherever a wild magic storm is raging.
Well, that's kind of a concerning thought, is that something or someone is
out there
creating things.
Yeah, which means we now have 2 points of large magical past world energy
All right.
on the map currently.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
I say, do you have a pen?
Of course, I'm a rummager, and she pulls out a really cool mechanical pen.
Okay. I click it and put it up on like a rock or something so that it's flat. Largely circle Scarlet Hill and largely circle the far-flung tower island. And then in the corner of the map, is there a key?
Yeah.
I write an extra box for the key and put a circle there and say, past world energy congregation point.
All right. Cool. You write that down. Maud goes, well.
I hold it up and say,
that's good. I imagine that's going to have to wait, though, until we deal with Scarlet Hill. I don't know what that means. I hope it means nothing
bad,
terrible. But, all right, let's get going. And you guys start hustling back through to
the ship.
It took you a little while to get over here, and it's been a couple hours because you got knocked out.
Yeah.
And the night settles in.
Is Beryl here?
Well, you're not that back yet.
Oh, okay.
The night settles in the forest. And
I'm kind of on edge, I think, after having the sneak up with Brandor.
Okay.
I probably, pull out my bow.
Yeah, I think Maud's probably
down.
always ready, too.
Yeah.
She's got an arrow nearby and ready to go. And she's running along. She's going, okay, well, I think we're probably just a little bit further through the forest here. And we're going to get back, and I suppose we'll try to take to the sky again.
Yeah.
Flibbit is coasting next to you guys, and you guys feel like you're starting to get, you feel like you're starting to get closer.
Yeah.
And Flibbit kind of looks at you and goes, Kia, I think we got a problem.
What?
And he's looking up with one of his eye stalks towards the sky.
With one of his eye stalks. I look up, too.
And you're starting to notice the clouds roll in again, only not the white, beautiful clouds from before. And you look up and you notice just a little bit of a color to one of those clouds.
Are they like the cloud dragon color or the wild magic color?
The latter.
Oh no!
And Maud's like, oh no!
I yell, "We gotta get back now!"
All right, so you guys go and pick up the speed a little bit, and you burst through a clearing, and in that clearing you find Beryl. She's got the ship basically ready to go. It's pretty beat up, but the thing's inflated. It's tied down to a tree right now, and she's loading stuff back on. She's tossing tools up, some of her old past world gear, and she sees you guys break through the trees.
I shout, "Magic storm! We gotta go now!"
I see it. All right, get on quick. And you guys rush, hop onto the blimp, untie it, and start sailing into the sky.
The sky.
As you come up,
I shout, "Is there a chance we can get above it?"
She says, I don't know. It's the storm or the dragon.
We dodged the dragon before?
Kinda, but then we'd have to come down here to dodge it. I think we have better luck in the storm.
That's probably a good idea.
All right.
Just fly through it fast.
Beryl goes, it's not the first time you and me have sailed through one of these, is it? She points at you, because you guys sailed through one.
We have.
And Maud just shakes her head and she goes, you are crazy, Kia.
Of course we've sailed through one before. What do you think a Ravager with an airship is going to do?
And she starts sailing along as you crest above the trees, and you can see now, you look across the horizon, just canopy of trees, just so many trees of the storm woods, right? And you know that you guys need to head kind of north-northeast. And so you start sailing, and as you come up, you're the low cloud layer, and you're seeing color clouds all the way the direction you need to go, and you look behind you, and you see colored clouds all the way back behind you.
It's a big storm.
It's a very big storm. It's dark. Barrel's flipping on some lights to shine forward.
She has pull the lever and it's the floodlights that come out
and
from
it's shining on the trees in front of you and below you, and you guys are sailing along. After just a moment, you suddenly start hearing the pitter-patter of some colorful raindrops coming down and starting to hit you guys, and Beryl goes, well, here we go. And I need you to roll the first time in a long time on the D100 Wild Magic table.
Oh, no.
Pretty pleasies. And thank you.
22.
22.
No reference to the Swifties out there. What?
Where do you think you're facing right now?
Probably to the front of the ship.
So you're looking out over the beams? All right. Suddenly, a tickle in your nose. A bad tickle. Like you just breathed in pepper or dust.
And
you're starting to
sneeze.
feel that feeling of, ooh, you need to sneeze. Can you please make a Constitution saving throw?
I think I know what this is gonna do, but I'm scared. And saving throw?
Yep.
12.
Suddenly, in the direction you are facing, you build up, and okay, you sneeze.
She does the cat sneeze.
And as you make that cute little cat sneeze, your whole body feels this amazing force blow forward as the spell prismatic spray shoots from your nostrils. But it does say in the direction you are facing, and so it spews out harmlessly into the air in front of you.
That's good. Didn't hit anybody. I know what prismatic spray can do.
And you like take a moment and relax, and you like turn around and you see like Flibbit got teleported out from the airship, and he's like levitating his way back as quick as he can. Maud now has some like dog ears, and Beryl looks like one of her arms was turned into a tentacle.
Oh. And she's still like holding the steering wheel.
Yeah. And after a little bit, a lot of that stuff reverts.
Wow.
And she's like, okay. Or Flibbit's like, okay, that was not my favorite thing.
Yep. And I think she's probably still like rubbing her nose a little bit and occasionally going.
And everyone's like, look that way. All right. You guys start sailing through that storm, and you start going along. Beryl's like, I've got our heading. We're going to keep heading to the northeast.
Okay.
See if we can break out of it.
This seems like a really big storm.
This is huge. I've never seen something like this.
Yeah.
And you guys sail for another hour. Can you go ahead and make a perception check for me, please? And is there anything you want to be doing or talking about while you're going about this stuff?
It'd probably just be like, I'd probably take shelter under the balloon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now
kind of
you
minimize
guys are like
rainfall.
trying to minimize a lot of that stuff happening to you.
Okay. Perception. Land on anything.
Okay, reroll it then.
No. A 7.
A 7. Okay. Unfortunately, you keep going along, and again, you guys start sailing through another section that feels like wild magic is surging up again. And Beryl's at the wheel. Her big orc arms are holding on to the wheel, and she's like trying to get through as fast as she can. She's like, I think we're gonna get hit by another one.
Okay.
And everybody like bunkers down. Can you please roll again on the wild magic table?
65.
65. So stupid. First of all, Flibbit next to you got teleported, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just rolled for him. He suddenly, his hands are full with 20 copper.
Oh.
that just appears in his hands. You suddenly find yourself contained in a box. You like a mime. It's invisible.
Oh.
And you reach forward to like do something, and you find an edge.
Do you think Kia's ever seen one of those mimes?
No, and definitely not.
I think Kia'd probably be like trying to feel around the edges. Is there like a top to this?
So you feel around all the edges, you feel 4 sides, and then you reach up and you don't feel anything.
I think Kia, being a cat, is it like a magnetic force field feel, or does it feel like
it's
something
an invisible box?
Does it feel like something she could dig her claws into?
And like, yeah, sure.
Okay.
It feels like wood, like a thin wood box.
Kia is going to reach up and extend all of her claws and is going to try and climb out.
Okay. You
Cats
start
being-
climbing out, and you realize it's only about 6 feet tall,
Yeah?
and there does not appear to be a lid.
Oh.
And you are able to get out of it, and you can still feel it there. There's an invisible box now in the thing. If you want to keep it there or not, it is up to you. No one else can see it. And they just saw you climb an invisible wall. Maud's like, what is going on?
I think it's an invisible wooden box.
Okay. Do we keep it?
I don't know. It could come in useful.
Barrel's like, get it off my ship.
What? But it could come in useful if we make a lid for it.
I don't know. That seems like a lot. And we're in the middle of a storm.
I think, Kia, how heavy does this feel?
We'll say that you go to move it, and you are able to push it over. It's actually pretty lightweight.
Oh, I thought it would be like heavier.
No.
I say, actually, never mind. It's lightweight. And so I pick it up and just hold it over the edge.
And it's starting to catch the wind. It's starting to get hold on to.
And
hard to hold on to.
I release it.
And you hear it go, whew. And you're pretty sure it's gone, but it was invisible the entire time. Yeah, it just says a 4x4x6 invisible box with no ground or lid and easily escapable. So you've had some pretty mild ones so far.
Wow.
You guys sail on and break through this storm once more. You're burning up a lot of fuel trying to just but no dragons, no concern. You're staying low below the wild magic storms.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please make another perception check?
Yes! Finally. 23.
Whoa, nice.
I have a +5.
You are sailing along, and suddenly you feel that pull in your chest.
Oh.
The hat in your bag that's still in your bag has been giving you that vibe the whole time. The surged artifact that you still have on you. You're starting to feel another one. And then after a moment, Maud goes, oh,
there's
whoa.
a thingy.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you are able to kind of turn your body, and you see that a little bit more due north instead of northeast. You guys are feeling a pull.
I say, Beryl,
Yeah.
what are the chances of us landing a little bit to the north?
And she's looking out on the horizon. She goes, honestly, I don't think it's any better one way or the other. You want to touch down?
Yeah.
All right. And you guys start sailing along.
I think, I say, wait until me and Maud signal to stop.
You and Maud are starting to get that feeling, right? And then you're going across trees, just darkened trees. She's shining the light, big floodlights, keeping stuff going. I think periodically you see flashes in the forest of like crazy stuff happening down with the wild magic storms. Finally, you start to see a little hill, and then you guys go up over the hill, and then as you come along the backside, dead trees.
Ooh.
Completely, utterly giant thing of dead trees. Also, real quick, I forgot to do this before. If you want to deal with this now, you can take a short rest. I know it's chaotic, but if you would like to take a short rest, now would be the time.
I would.
Flibbit's going to do the same thing.
Short rest.
And you can use as many as you want. I mean, you can roll first and see how it's going and just keep using them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I get D10s.
Nice.
So, that's 12 health?
More?
Yeah, because that would only put me at 36 out of 52. 37?
You got a 1?
Yeah, I got a 1.
Ouch.
Oh, that's a 7. Okay, so 44. That's probably good.
It's up to you.
I don't
Now's
want to
your
use
time.
all of them.
Okay. It's up to you.
So I have... There we go.
Okay.
Or wait, no, 44 health.
44 health, yeah.
Okay, yep, there we go. There we go.
And about that time you crest the hill, you feel you're rested as far as that. Not spell slots or anything, but... And just dead trees, black, like it was burned here.
I say, actually, Beryl, can we, maybe land on the other side of that hill? The one where there aren't any dead trees?
As you're sailing along, you start to notice vehicle, kind of like the one that was in the auction that you saw with Reginald.
Reginald and
But it's just covered in rust and broken down and moss growing over it and everything. And then you see another vehicle, and you see another vehicle.
Ooh.
And then you start to see a fog that fills up this area. And you actually notice, as you're kind of sailing into this spot, the wild magic storms are not strong right here.
Oh.
And it's just dark clouds.
I say...
And there's a big, mile-wide circle of dead vegetation. And you're starting to see just the roofs. You can't really see the ground much. Of vehicles all the way around.
I say, Beryl?
Yeah?
We need to land in a safe spot, preferably not in this graveyard.
And as you say,
thing.
The graveyard-looking thing, Maud goes, oh, I know what this is.
You do?
Yeah, I've never been here, but I've heard of it.
It's a graveyard-looking thing.
Yeah.
But with
this is
things.
The gasoline graveyard.
Ooh.
And Beryl goes...
Wait, what's gas?
I don't know. Something to do with these vehicles and how they worked.
Oh.
I don't know. And Beryl goes, I see a landing spot, but it's not in the graveyard.
Like where?
And she points down and you see 3 buses. You don't necessarily know what they are, but they are very large, rectangular-shaped vehicles that are parked right next to each other in a little perfect little spot. And Beryl goes, I could land there. And about that time, you and Maud kind of feel that pull, and you're starting to realize that this surged artifact is somewhere down there in the graveyard.
I said, this is what Theodora was talking about?
I guess so. And Beryl goes, all right, everybody, hang on. And you guys sail out through the storm into the dark clouds, and you go down, and she sets you guys down on top of the buses.
Are they yellow?
Yes, all 3 of them are yellow.
Oh, they're little school buses.
They're old school buses, yes. As you land, the chaos, the ship was on, stuff was happening, wild magic storms, crazy tinkling magic and everything. Distant sounds now. It's quiet here. It's very quiet here.
This podcast suddenly became a horror show.
And as you settle down, you start kind of looking around in the darkness. You can't even really see the ground. There's this smoggy mist low covering the ground. The tops of the buses you can see. And you can see patches where you can see the ground, but ultimately there's this smoggy mist rolling across this area.
I say, Maud, come on. You feel it?
I feel it. Wait. Let's get ready.
Okay.
I've heard
this place looks
this
creepy.
might be what Theodora was talking about.
Yeah.
This area I've heard about large-scale scraper attacks.
Really?
So we need to be careful. We need to be quiet.
Okay.
And about that time, you hear a loud scrape of metal somewhere off in the graveyard. And then another scrape of metal.
Is it coming
behind
closer?
You. And you're starting to hear these sounds, and they kind of seem to be coming closer from far away, but all the way around you.
Oh dear.
And that's where we're going to end this week's session.
This adventure podcast suddenly turned into a horror show.
Hey, every D&D adventure needs a graveyard.
That's
Ours is just weirder than normal.
This is a fact. Almost every D&D adventure has some sort of creepy element.
It's true. All right. Thank you all so much again for listening. We enjoy making the podcast, so hopefully you enjoy listening to it. and no one is forcing you. I don't know why they would be.
Why?
I'm not sure.
But that wouldn't be a very effective means of torture if you were forcing someone to listen to something they like.
That's true. So hopefully you enjoy it.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it.
All right. I don't know why we're weird. Thank you so much again for listening. If you guys are enjoying the show, leave us a comment somewhere.
A review.
Some stars on various things are cool.
Wait, can we even get stars?
I mean, that's how they review some stuff. They put a little star.
Cool.
There's 5 options. You can pick one. But we'll be back next week to continue on the story of the gasoline graveyard.
Dun dun dun.
And we will see you again on
Dad Adventurous.